Hello, everyone. Yulia here, and today we have, I'll be honest, one of my favorite coaches in ThinkProp. I think we have this bond by being Eastern European in a way. I feel this warmness. So Zola, it's an instructor in REBI, Real Estate Business Institute in the US, as well as an AR member and AR trainer as well. And today we're planning to talk about international designations, about how business is done in the US and how this will benefit to the UAE region, to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And we will announce when are our courses, when you can benefit from a live performance of Zola in Abu Dhabi. Hi, thank you for joining me.
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone. And Yulia, thank you so much for the opportunity to be in front of you and talk about some of the, I do believe, one of the greatest educational courses in the real estate industry.
Thank you very much. Can you just shortly tell everyone about your background? Because you have a very wide experience when it comes to real estate, and not only in terms of like years of experience, but the regions as well. So tell me about it.
Right. So just in a nutshell, I've literally been doing real estate in the past 22, 23 years now. And I started out when I was 5. And literally what happened is I had a great opportunity to be kind of like the way I explain it, it's like sitting at all sides of a table, meaning I was in production for 15 years. I was also in broker manager position, opening up a brokerage and building that office up to 155 agents and in 2 years. And then also obviously the training and coaching components of that. And I'm still kind of actively involved into the real estate transactions here in Central Florida, in Orlando, by working with my team, my business partner. So time to time when I'm around, of course, I'm still doing transactions, helping them to navigate through the industry and to the current market conditions. Now, I think what you were referring to is basically the past 13, 14 years. I also had the great opportunity to work with different regions around the world and providing them professional development courses, such as like the CRB and the RENE. So I've been in the Asian market as well with Mongolia. I've been working with them very closely. And then also in obviously Central, Eastern Europe, and some of the places in Europe, Central, South America as well. And of course, obviously in the United States.
Awesome. How is the market in Florida now?
Wow, that's a very interesting question because we do have different markets, right? We have macro markets and micro markets. So generally speaking, even in one city, it can be still very strong sellers market, but then the other part of the city, it can be balanced or more towards buyers market. So it really depends what locations we specifically talking about and what price range we really talking about. Yeah.
Okay. So how is your business going now? Like you are in a good market or not that great right now?
So everything is good. I mean, the agents are literally happy. Transactions takes a little longer. So the days on the market is a little bit longer. Again, depends on the type of price range.
I agree. Yeah. Dubai is also very active. You must be heard about it. Like since all the events in the Eastern Europe, Dubai became a hotspot for investors, for relocators. Our prices increased a lot based on the demand, and they don't plan to go down. which is good for real estate agents and investors, not so good for end users. But it's a it's an experience, and I've been in Dubai for like 13 years, and it's like a fluctuating thing, like it always goes ups and down, but usually go up again. So we, as ThinkProp Institute, we're trying to educate the real estate market in Abu Dhabi mainly, but we also operate in Dubai. And one of like the first phase, I would call this, what we did, we licensed all the real estate professions. And then we added a lot of professional skills training, such as sales, marketing, personal branding, all sorts of AI tools that they can use, public speaking, like anything, any sort of enhancement that we can give, we provided that. And as the next stage, in collaboration with the Abu Dhabi municipality, was to bring international designations into UAE, into Abu Dhabi specifically, to show international practices, right? Because US is a leading when it comes to like certain policies, experiences. It's a very diverse market. It's very diverse in terms of clients, in terms of regions, in terms of seasonality, prices, and so on. So it's very interesting to learn from those who've been there, because we are relatively new market. We're just like what, 50 years. Before that it was a desert, or 60 years. So we're still like, even though it seems like, it's a city looks like a New York on steroids, but still it's a still growing market, and we still have a lot to learn. So
Right.
we signed up with the REBI, Real Estate Business Institute. Can you please give a sort of intro? What is REBI, like? What place it takes in real estate world in the US and in the world overall?
Right. So REBI stands for Real Estate Business Institute, and REBI is literally the largest affiliated organization for the National Association of Realtors, with over 50,000 members all around the world. And REBI is literally have one main focus, is professional development. So they are the ones who provided, meaning created the educational courses, monitoring the courses, selecting the instructors, and also providing the highest level of education for not only for realtor members but also other practitioners around the world who they have a affiliation and more like a contract, such as yourself, so as a provider. So just in a nutshell, in the past, and I've been kind of like involved with REBI since they went international, and I can tell you, just as a testimonial,
Yeah.
some of the marketplaces, they seen an increase on level of professionalism, but most importantly, the agent's level of income by getting educated and doing it the right way, instead of like, because we all know how is real estate, right? And especially in an unregulated marketplace,
Yeah.
everyone is trying to be doing so many things at the same time, but there is no roadmap.
Yeah.
And these courses are literally built for to be a successful agent, to be a successful broker, to be a successful agency, so you can excel and ultimately, to be more profitable, because that's really what it comes down to. But while we're doing that, let's also focus on professionalism. Professionalism meaning like who we're representing in the transaction, how do we negotiate, making sure we're creating a win-win situation for both sides of the transactions. So it's a very I believe it's one of the most comprehensive educational programs what is out there. NAR has also owned a few of the designations, but the majority is from also from REBI.
What is the difference between them in terms of designation, in terms of education? Because we did already provide in Dubai, we had a course of CIPS. I am the first CIPS certified broker and NAR member.
Yay,
In Dubai.
congratulations.
Me not being a broker, but yes, thank you. So, what do you think? Like, which courses are good for what, and because me and you, we together chose particular courses for Abu Dhabi, right? So
Right.
let's share why exactly did we choose them, and like what's the difference between them.
Okay, so there is a few questions in there.
Yeah, you.
Um, so I believe, first of all, NAR courses are just like how the REBI courses. Both of them are extremely valuable. I think the most important thing to just to highlight the CIPS, which is the Certified International Property Specialist designation.
Mm-hmm.
It is provided by NAR, so that is not an REBI product, but that's from NAR. Now, there is 4,500 CIPSs all around the world, so it's beneficial for networking mainly as well, and also to understand how the different cultures are operating, making decisions, what are their market conditions, and by knowing ours, how can we get in touch with them and create some relationships. Now, as far as the I think the major focus here, they're collaborating with each other. So NAR and REBI, so they both recognize each other, obviously, and supporting them. Some of the course writers are the same people from REBI. So
I
it's
noticed that. Yeah.
basically, I could really say it's almost the two identical, entity, but at the same time is just distinguished between, two designation and certifications. I
Mm-hmm.
think the only thing what we need to remember here is the designations are something which is you need to renew, right? For international practitioners, such as people from Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates, they have different pricings. Obviously, is a lot more favorable
Yeah.
than the one in the United States, because in the US we have different structure, and we're paying different prices, and obviously it's going to be a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also a very good benefit for you. And then that's pretty much about the difference between designations and certifications. Well,
Right.
certifications usually is a 1 day course. Designations are usually 2 day courses.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
chose, with your recommendation, we chose CRB course and Rainy. Uh, which is what, and why did we choose them? Why did
right,
you recommend me? And I said, yes, let's go with it.
right. I think um, from the past experience from another countries, I
Mhm.
think the best.
Give us a sort of intro, what these courses are good for what they are meant. And we also, for the CRB, we chose four courses. So I can tell you which one we chose, and then we can go from there, right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Let me start with the RENE then first.
okay, go ahead.
Yes. So I think, well, today, and especially today, but I
Mhm.
believe, generally speaking, in a real estate industry, there are a few important basic knowledge, right? Is about working with buyers and sellers. But then the third one, it's also how do we negotiate between all the parties, and it's not necessarily to agent or buyer to agent or seller to agent. It's about everyone who is in the transaction, right? It could be a developer, it could be any other component and person in the transaction, and there is literally no educational portion There's no educational courses for real estate professionals other than the RENE, which is the Real Estate Negotiating Expert. It's one of my favorite courses to deliver. And the reason for that, because it's very interactive. We will learn a lot of things. And I'm so glad it's going to be more in person to person, in live, because you will understand how most of the communications, 65% of them are nonverbal. How do we read into these different conversations, and also some of the, how do we deal with this? It's one of the most exciting one. We will do some of the exercises together. We're going to put into real estate scenarios, outside of real estate. What is really the core of a negotiation? And it's literally is just a perception of winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting course. I love it. It helped a lot of people to understand and try to create a win-win solution, and ultimately get their transaction to the closing table. So REN is going to be that. It's a 2 full days class. Again, it's one of my favorite one, and I think it's going to be one of the most exciting courses you could ever take in the whole NAR and REBI family.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm a sales coach. Like I'm training people sales. And I think the most common question and the most common demand is to learn how to negotiate. Like everybody, they feel like they know how to present, they feel like they know how to find clients, but how do I negotiate? And when it comes to the secondary market, you negotiate with the landlord, you negotiate with the buyer. So, like, you are constantly negotiating with somebody to make sure the transaction gets done. So yes, I agree. That's the one that I'm looking forward the most. I'll be coming from Dubai to Abu Dhabi especially to to see this course. So I'm very very excited for it. And indeed, we did we do have sales courses on our platform, but we don't have a sales course or a negotiation course that comes with an international experience. So that's something that I'm very excited. And because Dubai and Abu Dhabi are a basically an international market. We have buyers from all over the world. So knowing how to understand them, knowing how to understand their body language, their psychology, and how to read them correctly, it's very important. I agree with you.
And of course, what I also typically do, I talk to the attendees beforehand. I also get some of the information. I will get some information from you. I literally kind of like tailor orienting these courses for my audience.
Mhm.
So I will. It's gonna be good. So as long as you come and you will have an open mind, and you're learning based, which I believe us as real estate professionals, we have to be learning based. Otherwise, how you going to be excel, how you going to be creating the next level of business if you don't have that learning based mindset. Because if you think you know it all, then there is a problem with that.
Yeah, it's a by the way, it's a very common misperception here in UAE, because the market now is doing very well. You can literally sell anything very quick. People do think that they know it all and they don't need to learn. What can you say to this kind of perception, to this kind of mindset?
Well, I am not trying to tell anyone what to do,
Hmm.
because that is one of the most
But
important
you're an
things.
instructor. You can do that.
I know, but at the end of the day, what I believe is, are you happy with the level of production, what you're performing right at the moment? And how is that really? Is it sustainable? Meaning, like, is it just a quick success? Or is it something which you believe you can sustain yourself for the years to come? And if you think you are, fine, then keep doing what you would like to do. However, if you feel like you hit a ceiling, I like to call these like ceilings,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how to break through that next level, but you see it's a glass ceiling, so you see there is another level. However, you don't know how to break through, then I do believe by professional development, which means education, can help you to break through that next level of performance.
I agree. I absolutely agree because I'm like a constant learner. Like
Me too.
I always like to learn something new. And if I get bored from real estate, I start learning some psychology, and then I go back to real estate. So like I constantly like to learn. And I think when you are in sales, you need to have a very wide horizon of knowledge, because you have to be interacting with people, you have to be able to keep up with any conversation. So if you lack knowledge and skills, it's kind of tough to compete in the high demanded market. All right,
Agree.
uh, let's go to the next one. So the CRB course. uh,
Yes.
we chose the module with building a successful business plan, the generational business, performance leadership, and the recruitment for success. That was kind of something that, at least as of me, it's something that a lot of people, they don't focus so much, either though it's very important. Um, I will tell you, like, very classical scenario how somebody becomes a real estate broker in UAE, and I can assume all over the world. So you've been a broker, you are doing well, and you think, why do I need to share my commission with the company? I'm gonna go open my own business. What I need to do is to rent an office space, hire a receptionist, and hire a team, and through advertising, and then I'm gonna be success. And
Well, I'm gonna be a millionaire. That's the mindset. Yes.
yeah, and then the reality hits you. So, how does the CRB course prevent, let's say, this from just an illusion in a way, and gives you the right tools, and like what do you get from passing the CRB course, for who it is dedicated, like who should choose to get the CRB course, because it's not for everybody, right? Yeah.
No. So I do, well, it is, so here is what I think it's good for. It's
Mhm.
good for people who already have an existing brokerage, meaning an office. So they would like to see how can they restructure it, or maybe just pick some information up how they can grow it. Because once you're a broker, you have two major focuses, right? It
Mhm.
depends. If you're a producing broker, meaning like you are still in production, or you are someone who just stepped back and you are only managing the office for your agents to be successful. But the two major role of a broker owner, it really boils down to two things, which is retention,
Mhm.
meaning keeping the agents, and recruiting. So retention, recruiting. Now, the who is this for? This is good for, again, for people who has an existing office, people who would love to open up an office, but they just don't know how and how to start.
Mhm.
And then also it's also good for teams. I don't know if the team concept is working in the UAE, but team concepts are also very interesting because, it can be one company, and within one company, you could have a team. And the
Yeah,
team operating, yes, the team is
we have
operating.
that.
Yeah, so that's very good also for team leaders and people who would like to create a team as well.
Mhm.
So that's for the audience.
Mhm.
Now, the courses, I love the business planning session. It's basically identifying, why are we here? Why are we doing it? And if you just keep doing it for the money, then ultimately we need to do it for a financial benefit. I'm not
Mhm.
saying not, but what are the other components of that business plan? How do we recognize what is our mission, vision statement, and also our core values. Because your core values should be dictating all the decision makings in your brokerage. And we will talk about that. It's one of my favorite course in the CRB series, just to identify those major factors. And then moving forward, we have the recruiting section, which is also important, right? So you need to make sure how you're going to grow the office so you have a financial benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
Then what is the third one?
Multi-generational business.
Okay, so that is also an interesting one because this is first time ever we have 4 generations in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So all those 4 generations are communicating differently. And who is your office population? Who are those people? What demographics are? How do you serve those demographics? So we're going to talk about some of those things as well. And then the fourth one is
The fourth one is performance leadership.
performance leadership. Now, that is something which is how you are going to be able to help your agents to become the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I felt like this structure, it makes a lot of sense because first we make a plan, then we hire people, then we understand with whom we are dealing, and then we motivate them in the right way. So it's kind of close the circle. And when it comes to the generational thing, I want to just give a little bit of my view on it because I'm a coach, right? So I meet different in offices. I meet different type of people, obviously different age. And now there is like a big, I'll call it boom of technology, where everybody are obsessed with all sorts of AI tools, all sorts of data analytics, CRMs, automations, and the older generation, they completely ignore it and like they try to pretend it doesn't exist. And I'm writing in my notebook and that's it. While there are let's say Gen Z who start working now, right? So like they start to work as well, and they completely don't respect authority. They don't understand why do they need to follow certain rules. Why do I need to wear a suit, and so on and so forth. And as a manager, I I think like that's my personal opinion. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You can't put everyone on the same line. Like you need to really find a right way to deal with every type of person and to help him to progress and to help him to perform, in the comfort of his own age and in his own generation, and still perform good, right?
Correct. Yes. And if you have an existing office, that's easier to do. But once you are launching an office, meaning like you opening up an office, you should definitely see who is your target audience, who
Yeah.
are the demographics in the generation who you can serve with your current technology, with your current support system, or what would you like to do? So you can create those things and you can.
You're right. Yeah. I've noticed this also when it comes to training. Some usually the older generations they don't like training. Like they more like I know my way of things and I know how it works. What do I need to learn? Some others they are very curious because like what these young people come with. Because like my sales training, it's a lot of psychology, it's a lot of skills training, but it's a lot of tech. Like I give them a lot of different tools that they can use to prospect, how to automate certain things, a lot of AI usage in there. So some of them get really excited. And when it comes to Gen Z, it's like the whole new world. Even though like I'm 33, and to me they're too young. To me they're so far away. So like you kind of have to try to understand how they operate, so to deliver the information in such a way that they will like it. Because like nobody will buy from a broker who is so far away from you, is it? Like you're gonna buy from people who you understand well.
Yep.
I guess this training also, it's about like understanding which kind of stuff you're dealing with, but also helping them how to deal with other generations. It's the same how we had on CIPS, we had the multinational kind of course, like it was about different nationalities, which was very relevant in Middle East
Right.
here in UAE. Yeah, so like if you don't know certain, let's say, religious aspects, you can really make a big mistake that can cost you a deal. Or if you don't know, how to speak to certain nationalities or how to deal with certain nationality, it can really break a lot. Like you are a ambassador in Eastern Europe, and you know that we don't really negotiate, we don't bargain so much, right? uh,
Yes.
and to me it was like an let's say cultural shock when everybody were trying to get a discount from me, and they were trying to bargain like after down to like $100. I'm like, come on, like it's just like, we're buying an apartment. But then I learned that that's the culture, that's the way how things are done here, and not the opposite. So like you literally have to set a price expecting that there will be a bargain, like a negotiation process in
Right. Yep, absolutely. And the other thing which I would like to mention, because obviously it's going to be a new audience for me, uh,
Mm-hmm.
meaning like for you, me being there. But I just wanted to let you know um, I am the type of presenter is I usually ask everyone what they would like to go away and take away from the course. And
Mm-hmm.
my goal in every course is not to give you the material.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can read anything and everything. It's not
Yeah.
about that. It's more about how can we practically put into practice some of the things what we learn, and how some of those questions which is related to the material I can answer you. So because I do believe we have these roadblocks in our minds, right? And how can we break those roadblocks? And I'm my presentation is literally trying to unblock some of those, mindsets what you might have,
Yeah.
so you can see yourself doing it, because that's one of the first step we need to do in order for us to be successful. And
Yes.
I'm extremely looking forward to a lot of questions and a lot of interactions. And again, I'm not just someone who's going to go there and talk on a podium. I'm more like a hands-on person. So, such as yourself, Yulia, as being a coach, and it's more like I guess is I'm just very excited, and I'm really hope everyone take advantage of this opportunity and spend a few hours in their future how to be a better person, better agent, rather, and a better business owner.
Yes, I agree. It's to finalize our talk chat. It's I agree with you. It's very important to invest not only in your car, in your apartment, in your bags, but also in yourself. Just like opening new horizons, communicating with new people, learning new experiences can be a big shift and something that you can learn a lot. So this is why I'm very excited to meet you, Zola. Really, like we've been
Same
talking a
here.
lot, but I'm very excited to meet you in face. And rest assured, I'm gonna ask lots of questions. Like I'm curious, and I'm gonna participate in everything you're preparing, and I'm gonna ask all the questions because I love trainings. So
Be prepared, because am I gonna have some questions to you too?
no problems. I'm ready. So see you in September. Everyone, I send you the links. You can check the links, check the dates, and register. There are not so many places available, so we want to make sure that everyone who want to attend can attend and have fun with us and learn new experience. Thank you, Zola, for being here today, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Julia, and thank you so much, everyone who had the chance to listen to this or watch this presentation. And I'm extremely excited and looking forward to meet you in person in the next few weeks.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Ciao. Bye.